Mild spoilers for Saving Private Ryan here, so if you don't want to know anything about that movie, it's been out for a million years, but if you don't know anything about it, skip like a minute ahead. You know that scene at the end where Matt Damon's face morphs into the old guy that we've seen in the beginning of the movie, and you're like, oh, it was him. That's what's happening to me when I look at John Krasinski's face, but instead of morphing into the old guy at the end of Saving Private Ryan, he's morphing into Steven Spielberg. I need to be upfront about something before I get into the topic of this video. I am a huge fan of The Office. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's my favorite show of all time. And John Krasinski is probably one of my top 10 favorite people to ever walk planet Earth. So needless to say, I had a little bit of bias going into If. One, because I love The Office and Jim is my favorite character. But two, because he's already made two amazing movies in A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2. Written and directed both of those films. I was interested to see his foray into actual children's movie making, and he kind of took on the impossible. An original IP, a live-action animated movie coming out in the summer movie season, post-pandemic, original idea. Can it make money? Will it be successful? And this is one of the few movies that I went into not knowing anything about the critical reception of this movie. I just walked in, I sat down, I got ready, the lights dimmed, and I teared up every 10 minutes. And by the end of this movie, I had a smile on my face, just like I was walking out of a live-action Pixar movie, which is the exact goal that Ryan Reynolds, who produced the movie, and John Krasinski had when they were making it. And as I was sitting in the theater, it started to hit me that John Krasinski is something special. And I am putting my flag in the ground that John Krasinski, 25 years from now, we will look back on him and go, we were witnessing the birth of the next Spielberg. The reason I say that is because not only can he create fresh new ideas that bring people to the box office and that entertain the masses, not only is his visual style so visceral and interesting and entertaining, he does so much in-camera work and does so much to grab you by the horns and shake you around in such a vibrant, fun way, but he knows how to work with children, which is something that Steven Spielberg made a lot of successes on. He was able to make a movie like Schindler's List, right, or Close Encounters of the Third Kind. These movies are so different in terms of genre, but then he can throw an E.T. in there. Or Jurassic Park, the kids in Jurassic Park, or Henry Thomas from E.T. The kids in his movies are unbelievable. And a lot of times with these movies geared toward kids, or movies with kids in them who are the leads, the kids can take you out of it if they're not good. And that happens a lot of times in these kind of movies. And the kid in this movie, not really a kid, she's 17, but probably 15 or 16 when she made the movie. I'm forgetting her name right now. I completely apologize. She is unbelievable. And it makes me think back to the kids in A Quiet Place, who are also unbelievable. John Krasinski got his start in The Office, not only acting in it, and directing it. He directed a few episodes. If you didn't know, Steven Spielberg got his start directing television, a TV show called Columbo, which is one of my dad's favorite TV shows of all time. He directed the pilot episode. And if you watch that episode, you can tell without a doubt there was something special going on. Even in a procedural, comedy, drama TV show on cable television, there was something different about how Steven Spielberg was able to direct a single episode of TV. And when you watch A Quiet Place Part 1 and 2, not only is John Krasinski creating something out of thin air with his direction, but he's writing these movies too. So he is full of great ideas, and he knows how to execute them to entertain the masses, which is exactly what Steven Spielberg has been doing since the 1960s. And they both wear baseball caps. I mean, come on. They're great with kids, they're creating new original ideas, and they're wearing baseball caps. Without getting too much into the spoilers of If, obviously you know I loved it, and please go see it. If you're on the fence about it, go see it. It's for kids, it's for adults, it's for everybody in between. It will bring a tear to your eye. It'll absolutely put a smile on your face. There's a dance number in this movie that makes me think John Krasinski is ready to tackle a musical. It makes me question just how he's able to put some of these scenes together, having not directed a bunch of stuff. Like A Quiet Place's budget was $17 million, which is absolutely insane. If's budget was like 115, something like that. You know, there was a lot of voice acting in here from big name movie stars. That's another thing that he's got going for him. People want to be in his movies. So he's kind of got the studio backing him in Paramount, and he's got big famous friends who are able to join forces with him and produce and star in these movies. Guys, the direction, some of the shots in this, the way he was able to blend in Giacchino's score, There's a very popular song in this movie, again, that I don't want to give away. There is something magical about John Krasinski behind the camera, almost to the point where he's a better director than he is actor. And I love him as an actor, and he'll always be Jim Halpert in my eyes. I am more excited to see what he can do behind the camera rather than I am in front of the camera. And that's not a knock on him acting. I think he's a wonderful actor. But he has magic in his eyes. He knows how to appeal to everybody. I think Krasinski's the next big director. I think he's going to have at least a few Oscar nominations when it's all said and done, if not an Oscar win. I'm interested to see what his story, what his next movie is going to be. Will he go back to the horror side of things? Will he do a big-time Marvel movie? Who knows? I just know this. He won't direct a movie unless he has a personal connection to it, which is another Spielberg thing that he does a lot. Everything that he does has purpose. It's not just to get paid. Even movies like Jaws or Jurassic Park. His main goal is to entertain that audience. And John Krasinski has shown that he could scare people and make them cry and make them laugh and everything in between. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. This really wasn't a review on If. Just know that I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. If you're on the fence about going to see it, please go. It deserves the money. John Krasinski's a dog, man. I don't know what else to say. He's unbelievable. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see here, drop likes, drop comments, and please be sure to subscribe. It is free after no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.